Hello, today we're going to talk about decisions and the way we approach all decisions. The way that I want to suggest that we approach them is this. Whatever decision you want to make, you want to always check what is the reason why you want to make that decision and whether you like that reason. For example, I'm going to give you my personal example and then we'll apply it to you, okay? So when I was deciding whether I want to go from working part-time to full-time and have my kids in daycare full-time after being home for 8-9 years, that felt like a scary, big, life-changing decision, and I thought about it and weighed all the options. But at the end of the day, when I asked myself, what is the reason? I asked myself, what is the reason why I want to work full time? And what is the reason why I would want to stay home more? And the reason why I wanted to work full time is because I love working. I love what I do. I want to do more of it. And I want to challenge myself and what I can do. And the reason why I thought I wanted, or I thought I should stay home with the kids, is because I was afraid that if I don't, I'll miss out. That if I don't, then the kids will miss out. So then I asked myself, do I like the reason for working? Okay. I want to work. I love it. I want to challenge myself. This is super fun. I want to do it all the time. I do love that reason. And the reason is because that is coming from an abundant place and has no fear in it. Okay. I like that reason. Now, when I look at staying home with the kids, I was coming from fear. The only reason why I would stay home and be with them is because I'm afraid I'll miss out. I'm afraid I'm doing something wrong. I'm afraid I'll be worse off if I don't. So notice how that is coming from a lack, scarcity thinking. It's coming from just being afraid that if I don't do this, then I'll be worse off, okay? Now, I could have decided, like, okay, if I want to stay here with the kids, I could find a better reason to stay with them. For example, and I have stayed with the kids for those years before because I decided this is important to me to stay home with them when they're this young, okay? And that reason felt good to me. I liked that it was coming from a place of conviction and something of giving to myself, to my kids. But as they were 3 years old, the little ones were 3 years old, and I wanted to work more, I found myself only choosing to be with them because I was kind of being scared, okay? So there's only really always two reasons why we want to do something. It's either coming out of fear or out of love and abundance and like freedom and like the opposite of fear, so confident, certainty, right? So as we think of you, for example, let's talk about you mentioned in our conversation that you said that you, as you got feedback from people about you, you have not been speaking out or being as honest as you'd like to be. And so as not as confident, right? So I want you to ask yourself, right? When you're making that decision to not be as straightforward, to not speak up and not be honest, is it coming from fear or is it coming from abundance and belief in yourself and confidence? And I want to suggest that that's probably coming from fear, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I better not be as direct and say, oh, I better say the right things and not say this because I'm afraid that if I do say this directly, people will get upset. And I don't want that. So you're being scared, you're coming from fear. So of course that makes total sense that you hold yourself back, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? I just want you to see that that is what's happening, and it's not happening because of the people saying things, right? It's happening because you're making that decision that I rather them be happy than me be fully me, right? Now, you can there's a different reason you can pick for not speaking up, right? Or you can say, you know what, I'm not going to be as direct. I am going to choose to be more thoughtful in how I speak with them, right? So notice how that changes from, I'm not speaking up as much and not being as confident, to thinking about them and how you can help them more. So you're like gonna say, how can I be more helpful and thoughtful when I'm speaking to them? And that might also be like you not being as direct, but the intention behind it is so different, right? You're all of a sudden, your reason for it is because of what kind of person you want to be, what kind of person you want to show up as at work, okay? I want to show up as a confident, thoughtful leader, right? So from that place, I'm gonna choose to say it this way, which might still be like holding yourself back, but from a reason that you like, right? So more thoughtful holding back, do you know what I mean? Or if you believe that, the way you're showing up, being more straightforward and direct, is someone who you want to be, like for example, I want to be like that, right? And you can decide I want to be more direct and thoughtful, right? You can combine those. But if you want to be direct, like this is who I am and I am confident, I want to be confident, and I believe that this is the way that it serves people, I am okay with being that way because I believe that this is who I am and there's nothing wrong with me, and it's okay that people don't like it, right? Because guess what? In both scenarios, sometimes people will not like what you say or how you say it, right? So again, we don't want to be saying things or not saying things so we manipulate their reaction, because we can never ever control it, right? But we can check in for our reasons of why we want to choose to show up a bit less me. I used to be confident and then I got feedback and now I'm afraid, like I don't want to be, right? So going forward, as in any job, even at home and anywhere, right? Those micro decisions of how to say something, how not to say something to your husband, to your kid, check your reason. Do I like this reason? Am I being afraid? Am I scared? And if you are scared, if you're afraid, you have a few options, right? You can stay afraid and scared and still react to it. Like, it's totally fine. We live that way all the time, right? Being aware of it helps us. So the option is to do the work on it and clean it up, okay? Like really dive deep into, okay, why am I afraid, right? Why am I afraid that people are going to be upset with me? If they're upset with me, what do I think and feel? Oh, and when they're upset with me, I'm thinking and feeling maybe is I did something wrong. Feel disappointed in yourself, right? So clean that up, right? Is that really true? Am I doing something wrong, right? And the only reason why you want them not to be upset with you is that so you don't think you're doing something wrong, and so you don't feel disappointed, right? So being aware of what's going on, what your reasons are, now gives you a bunch of options of what you can do with it, right? If you are coming from fear and you don't like your reason, you can do work with it and see if you can find a reason that you do love, right? Or sometimes you will decide, you know what, I don't like this reason, I'm not gonna do it, right? Or I love this reason, boom, right? Like it makes it so much easier for you to then make forward action, decide, and never look back, because you have done due diligence on what your reason is, why you really are doing it, and then when you come to a struggle or obstacle, you have your back more because you know why you're doing it. You have your big vision, like this is the person who I want to be, and now that I've said something and someone didn't like it, well, it doesn't feel good right now, but you know what? I'm gonna have my own back, and it's okay because the way I said it, I'm okay with it, and I can't control what they think and feel. Like I didn't say it in any way that I think is rude. They are probably upset. They're upset, not probably, but for sure they're upset because of their thoughts and not how I said it, right? That's the other big piece. We want to manipulate whether they're upset or not, because we think that what we say makes them upset. But the truth is, what we say never makes them upset or happy, right? It's what they think about it, right? You might say something super direct and they might love it, or again, they might be upset, right? So we can work on that in our sessions, but I just wanted to plant that seed in your head that super simple. What is my reason? Write it out. And do I like it, right? So here you might say decision to do something. What's my reason? And here you put it. And you might have to dig down like 5-10 sentences to find it. And it might be something like, I'm just afraid that they will think I'm too much, right? Like, so if it's like, I'm afraid, right? I'm afraid. And then you feel scared. And then from feeling scared, you're gonna tone yourself down, hold yourself back, because you don't want this to happen, right? Hold back. You're not gonna be as confident. You want to be confident, right? Not coming off as confident, because when you're scared, you're not confident, right? So not confident. Okay, and then the result for you is you're still afraid and not confident, right? You're just you're kind of perpetuating the cycle of being afraid of their reaction, right? Afraid, not confident. And I want to suggest you are being less you. You're literally turning down the volume on being less you out of fear. Totally normal and human, but now you know about it, right? Less you. All right, so apply that to any decision you're making, big or small. What's your reason, and do you like it? Okay, bye.